Howdy, SimTheWorld here. We are back with Farming Simulator 19, the Alpine expansion. So as you can see, it's the afternoon and the rain never came. Didn't see any rain whatsoever, so right in the morning, got in the tractor and got the rest of the harvesting done on our new field. So that does mean we got to run the little bit left in here. Not everything could fit in the first couple hauls. We got to run that back. I've been putting it in the silo tank, not worrying too much. We'll be able to sell that, you know, probably closer in the winter when we get a better price. That seems like the right answer to me. But of course, we'll see what happens. Let's run this back and then we can talk about the field. We go ahead and we'll have somebody come pick up the harvester and everything we leased. No need to keep these anymore. Both our fields are taken care of. And of course, we're not doing any harvesting contracts. Though with that said, let's jump into the precision farming. I want to talk a little bit about this. So specifically, it gives you a breakdown of what you put into it, how much fertilizer, lime, all the costs there. Of course, the manure, we didn't have to spend anything for that, but that's what happens when you have cows. You can see from our field, we got basically the full 125% yield out of this field, which was really good. One thing to note, and this is a crude comparison, but I think it does make a good point. To fill the harvester, the 8,000 liters, I would fill it, or, you know, we'd get to about 3/4, almost full on one pass up and down. Compared to, and I know there's a little bit of a slant, but compared to this field, it took 4 passes to fill it up. And I make that distinction because we see this is 125% yield, but field 3, the one we haven't done anything with, says 110%. So I'm not sure if they've corrected the precision farming for the contracts. I thought typically you'd get, you know, the red colored, the 60% or the 65% like on the other fields. Of course, this little bit here, you can see this is where our testing circle kind of went over when we did field 4. We'll have to go through, and I'm just going to retest both field 3 and 4. That way they're on the same cycle. Every so often you do have to update that. You can see the data will start to get a little darker with each pass. You can see this is 60%, but that orange is a little darker than the orange right there. And if we let that go another year, the same will continue. Same with the red. That's a little more obvious. This red's a lot darker than this red. Let me see. You can do a side-by-side there. But with that said, we've got some work ahead of us. I think, yeah, we pulled out a full trailer load of canola out of field 4. And we pulled out a full trailer load out of canola out of field 3 too. So even though on the map they say they're the same size, obviously that's taking into account this grassland. Of course, this field specifically is a bit smaller than that one. So when we get the precision farming, when we get everything all fertilized and lined correctly, I think field 3 is going to be one hell of a purchase. And you can see, let me jump over to our silo and the canola. We have over 92,000 liters of canola. So we're just going to wait for a good price on that. I think we can get around 1,100-1,200 for every 1,000 liters. So that'll be a nice payday. And we're going to plant wheat into both of these fields. So that's what I'm going to do in the rest of late summer. You guys just watched me do that in the last video. So no point in doing that now. Now that my talking video is over, let me bump up the time again. I'd like to give you guys the rundown on the farm before we get too crazy into things. The newest purchase I want to show off, what I've been kind of teasing about the cows and upgrades, is I've been planning this out for a while. I really wanted to put this here. This is a Tmr Mixer. So it was fairly cheap. There's a couple different mods. This one I found online. It of course is in French, but I think this is the Swiss Alps, so I wouldn't be that surprised. The barn is written in German. This is written in French. Makes sense to me. But what I like about this mixer in particular is it holds 200,000 liters of each, of silage, straw, and hay. Which, that's why we did these huge bales. We'll be able to drop them in, and for the most part, we'll keep this thing full. So that's what I want to do today. Let me go get my front end attachment and the bale hooks, and we'll go take care of that. Eventually, I want to get some paths over here. I'd like to set that other backfield up as an area that we can, move these and have a bigger area for the bale storage. Not just these small tarps up here. But they work in the meantime. So let me grab my weight and I'll get this set up and we'll be back in a second. So on the trailer, I've got some of the silage bales. Those are the contract ones we picked up. Those are all 20,000 liter. But over here, I stored some of our hay bales. That way there wasn't an issue when it came time to... I didn't want them to decay in the rain if it rained at all in the spring and winter. Go ahead and see if we can't pick all of this up. I'm not expecting to take the top one, but if we can keep the two small ones on the front, that would be nice. And I'm going to go for broke here. Oh, maybe it's going to fall off. There it goes. That's okay. Let me grab this too, and we'll take everything down in one pass. You guys can see we'll still need to take some straw bales over. I don't have 20,000 liter straw bales. That is the one thing. I thought we were going to get straw the canola, and we probably could have installed a mod to do that. But at least the straw me mod that enables that to happen, I don't think plays well with seasons, so that's kind of where we're at now. You go ahead and let's see, can I just drop these off? I think we got to get them kind of close here. There's one. See if I can't pull this back a little bit. So I'm hoping we can just dump all the silage in there. There's two. There we go. Yeah, the box. If you guys use this mod, I'll leave the link down in the description. But the box doesn't seem to be as tight as it would lead you to believe. We'll see with the silage bales here. Of course, it would make sense if you just kind of put the bales in the actual spot they belong. Let me do something like this and we'll see how it goes. Ooh. Alright, come on bales, keep going, keep going. Okay, those three don't want to go, that's okay. We'll be able to push those in. Still haven't bought a bale pusher. I did buy one, or I did install a mod for one, but we haven't added it. Push these in a little closer. There's one, and there's two. Perfect. If we jump out here, we can see, so we actually have this almost full of silage. Only a couple more bales. The hay, of course, we got 40,000 in. That's ready to go. I love the storage on this. This makes it so much easier because we'll be able to pull a lot of TMR out, and I won't have to mix this, every 16,000 liters. It was getting to the point where I was going to have to fill this, and mix this every day. I'm going to go get the straw in and the rest of the hay. I'll meet you guys back here and show you how this all works together. Alright, so I'm loading in the rest of the straw. Let me make sure the brakes are on here. And it looks like that all fills up pretty nicely. Take a look. And that was a full trailer load of the straw. Of course, some of that straw was wet, so that's why we didn't get the full amount I was expecting. We've got 100,000 liters of hay. I think we're pretty good here. The one thing to note with this is, in fact, this mixes at a rate of, I think, 9,000 liters every hour. So it's not instantaneous. It takes time. It takes time to mix. So that'll give us some time to go take this back. We'll allow that to mix a little bit. I'd like to pick up all these hay bales, or all the silage bales, in fact. It doesn't need to be scattered around the farm anymore. That'll be a good use of our time while we wait. And I guess we can see how many bales we have out of these fields. Of course, we'll still need a better place to put these. These are 20,000 liter bales. I don't want to mix them up with what we have in the other bunker. That's why in the near future, I'd like to get some sort of silage bale storage around on this side of the farm. But I don't think that's going to happen until at least next winter. I noticed while I was collecting all those silage bales that the price for them is $107 for every 1,000 liters, which according to the seasons menu seems to, like, the price seems to kind of top out at 120, at least on the historical chart. So in all reality, that's not a bad price for silage, at least with seasons enabled. Of course, you can get better prices in the base game. They pay you blocks of gold for silage. But seeing as I've still got, you know, a pretty full pit of silage, the bunker's pretty full. Not the pit, we got rid of the pit. The bunker's pretty full, and I'd like to get rid of all those small bales. Maybe it's just better to sell these. I don't think we're going to run out anytime soon. Of course, I might get stuck here. Why am I getting stuck? I've driven through here before. There we go, there we go. Let's get this sold. We'll make some extra money. This will be helpful. Not that we're hurting per se, but the Tmr Mixer did cost 25 grand. And of course that is cheaper than the other mod. There's a couple different variants in the mod hub. This one, I don't think I found this mod on mod hub. I picked it up somewhere else. So it's slightly different, but it does the job. Alright, last couple bales, let's get you sold. There you go, there you go. Alright, we doubled our cash, that's pretty good. Let's head back, we'll see how the Tmr Mixer is doing. Assuming I don't break all my gear. Oh, this will be a winter full of repairs for sure. I will be busy. But that is fun to keep me kind of occupied. We'll repair everything. We wash all the equipment. Kind of take inventory of what we have. But yes, the goal is going to be using up all those small bales for all the hay, the straw, and the silage. That way I can get some new bunkers placed, or at least move them so they're a bit closer to the Tmr Mixer. Because that's where they need to be ultimately. Now that we're back at the farm, you guys can see a little bit better. You can see some of those numbers dropping. Silage is down 10,000 liters, so we come around to the side here. I think the menu will be a little too small to see from the tractor. Oh, there's a little gauge there. That's perfect. So we have 11,000 liters in the tank of Tmr. So we can fill this up pretty full, and I'm assuming we can fill up the Tmr and then store more. Yeah, an additional 20,000 liters of all the components. Let's go ahead and pull this underneath. And this is the ultimate goal. It just fills up. Of course, there's not enough produced yet to fill it up all the way, but of course by tomorrow morning after this is processed all the way through, we'll have plenty of Tmr. And this will never be an issue again. I just have to run the tractor around here, do a little loop-de-loop, and maybe I'll have to see about possibly changing the order of things, because that turn is a little cluttered over there. But at the same time, boom, would you look at that? Cows are fed. And without having to sweep up anything, I love this mod. I don't know if that's a glitch, I don't know if that's an overlook, but they do not throw food here. So there's nothing to clean up in this barn. We just have to drop some straw which of course once we get these straw bales closer to, that will make this a lot easier. But I think I'm starting to, yeah, we're almost out of straw here, so I'll have to get a few more bales in that loaded for tomorrow. Get the water going. The water I wish was automatic, but you know, it just took me 5 seconds to take care of them for the day. And that's it. This mod is so much fun. I'm going to really enjoy this. I hope you guys enjoyed this episode too. If you have any suggestions to make life with the cattle easier, please be sure to let me know. Anything to make that better and more automated, I guess, is there are mods so you don't actually have to do any of this and they just kind of pay hired hands to take care of them. But I don't think that's the spirit of the game. The next endeavor I want to take a look at is the Manure Pet. Because I was playing around, I'll give you guys a little sneak peek here. I was playing around with this, and well, this is a modded fertilizer, and while it does use manure and you can throw manure through it, you can't actually physically load it with manure. I tried it with a shovel, I tried it with a belt. Don't ask me how we were able to do it before. I didn't just spawn it full of manure so we could get it thrown. But with that said, we're going to need something, because I really want to use our manure to fertilize the fields. We got to get rid of this too. There's just a lot of manure being produced. Like, we're up to 200,000 liters, and it's really not worth any money. Like, it's not worth transporting for $65 for every 1,000 liters. When we moved farms, that was only 20 grand. It wasn't worth the effort. So using this in place of the solid fertilizer might be the smart move. But to do that, we'll keep that fertilizer because it was only like 13 grand. It was pretty cheap. It's one of my favorite fertilizing mods. But we want an actual manure spreader that will make life a lot easier. And then we'll also need something to help load this quickly. I don't know if a telehandler with a big shovel is the right answer or a conveyor belt off the side. You guys can let me know your thoughts on that too. But I don't think that's coming until next year. Until then, I will take our little shovel and make something happen. Thanks for watching as I simulate my life one game at a time. If you enjoyed this video, please be sure to hit subscribe so you don't miss any of the future action. You can follow on Twitter for updates of future games being played, as well as follow on Twitch, as I'll occasionally stream live. Thanks, and I'll see you next time at SimTheWorld.